Hey, it's Tony the Whipping Boy with another Ravs with Tony the Whipping Boy session. Today I've got Jack Antonoff from Bleachers. How you doing, man?
I'm good. How you doing?
Very good, very good. So you got the big show tonight. How's the tour been going?
It's been great. So there's something some switch got flipped when we put this album out, and the shows have just been like no shows I've ever played before.
That's really cool. So you are like an intense guy when it comes to working, and you've worked with like pretty much everybody under the sun. Taylor Swift, Zayn, Sarah Bareilles, Lord, Sia. Is there anybody you haven't worked with?
Well, actually, it's funny. I always feel like I do a lot less than it seems. I just get very concentrated on specific things and work really hard on them. And I think that when you work hard on something, it sort of tends to get covered. And it seems like I do more, but yeah, it kind of feels like a small group in my head, at least.
So when you're writing songs for Bleachers or Fun or anybody, or you're writing something for Taylor Swift, what's the difference that goes into the writing session?
Well, for Bleachers is it's a very solitary process. That's really me, kind of pretty much alone in a room doing. Kind of dealing with things I want to deal with. Really, that's the sound of what just comes out of me. And when I do things with other people, it's very collaborative, where there's two people working towards something we hear together, which is in some way similar to the idea that if I'm alone or if I'm with someone else, there's this thing that I see. Sometimes I see it with someone or I see it by myself, but I'm either on this lonely journey or this collaborative one.
Is there anybody that you haven't worked with that you're like, God, I really want to work with them?
Whenever I think about someone I want to work with, my mind always wanders to someone who I don't know exists yet. Like I'm less interested in people that I already like and more interested in who's that kid somewhere that is doing something amazing that's going to blow my mind.
Very cool. So we've got this intro that you recorded for our radio station about don't take the money.
Yeah.
Now, is that a specific incident? You say in the intro, whenever you have a gut feeling, don't take the money, go with your gut. Is that from a specific incident, or is that just...
No, and it's not about money. It just seems like, in some way, it seems like money could be linked to the root of a lot of evil in the world, or what drives people towards evil. So that's just a phrase that it's kind of like my own catchphrase or something that I say in my head. Don't take the money. Just like whether it's something about your personal life or your professional life or just anything. It's just like something I'd say to myself and to a friend. Like if you came to me with a problem and you're like, I don't know if it feels right, I'd be like, don't take the money, whether it's about money or not. So I wanted to write that song because it had been in my head for so long.
On this new album, what's the most personal song for you?
Everybody Lost Somebody.
And what's that about?
Realizing that loss and going through a lot in life is something that we all share, and when you go through things, you have this sense that you're the only one experiencing it. And then one day you kind of wake up and realize that, hence the song, everybody lost somebody. Everybody's got a story out there. And I think that is when I'm the most connected with my music, is when I'm talking about things that I can really talk to people about and not just sort of shouting my story out there.
That song really connected with me as well. I lost my mom about 2 years ago, and I know that you had lost your sister and a really close friend, and 9/11 all happened at the same time. Is that kind of where this song came from, or is it just in general?
Yeah, I mean, that's the root of it, because when you, and I'm sure when you deal with loss, if you hurt your arm or something, or like you cut your leg, you see it and you understand it. But when things that are in your mind and soul, grief or loss or things like that, they're hard to describe, they're hard to connect with people on. So you go through something and then you feel like you're the only one experiencing it. And so I went through those things, and sort of later in life, when I was writing this record, I started to just sort of see it in everybody. And I thought it was incredibly comforting in a way, that we're all dealing with some crap.
Yeah. Now let's get off the heavy stuff. Let's have fun. Is it weird that whenever I listen to any of your songs, whether it's this album or the last one, I can put any one of those songs in like a 1980s movie? Is that just me, or did you purposely do that?
I don't purposely do it, but I've heard it before. I think it's because, I grew up in the 90s, was born in the 80s, so I think that there's this sound that's just sort of in me from, those are the first sounds I heard, when I was a baby.
I mean, I could see like Anthony Michael Hall like rolling down the halls of a classroom at John Hancock High or whatever. I love it, and it's one of the things that most that appeals to me the most about Bleachers is the fact that it does take me to that place. Like that's my thing. So with that, what was your favorite song from the 80s?
Only You by Yaz.
Fantastic. And 90s.
90s, Space Hog In the Meantime.
That's a great song. That's
a
great
song.
one too. So if there were anybody that you could have dinner with, living or dead, who would it be?
Barack Obama.
Okay. And then, what's the last good movie you saw?
Hamlet 2. It's a hilarious movie. Very, very underseen and underrated. Everyone's Hamlet 2.
I've never even heard of that. Is it?
It's brilliant. It's a comedy. Steve Coogan.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm definitely going to have to find that.
I'd love to watch it with Obama. That's the ultimate dream.
Fantastic. And one more heavy question, and I'll answer this.
Yeah.
2. When's the last time you cried?
God, let me think. I'm not someone who doesn't cry. Why can't I remember? That's not good. It's definitely during a TV show or movie. Oh, on stage the other night, I was playing an acoustic version of a song called Like a River Runs, and it was very sad, and I just barely cried a little bit.
All right.
What about you?
To be fair, okay, so I read in an interview recently that you said that you were desperate to have kids.
Okay.
And this was a dad moment. So I took
You have kids?
I have 2. I have a son and a daughter. I have a 9-year-old son and a 3-year-old daughter. I took my son to Chicago a couple weeks ago to see the Jurassic World exhibit at the Field Museum.
Okay.
And when he saw the Jurassic World gates and the look on his face, I started welling up and just started tearing up, and I couldn't take pictures of it.
That's awesome. That's incredible.
So you need to have kids.
Okay. And
tell Lena to get on that.
And I'll start crying more.
You definitely will. Thank you so much for your time today, and best of luck, man.
Nice to talk to
All
you.
the success with the Bleachers and fun, and whoever you work with next.
Thanks so much. It's been I love talking to you guys. Love being in St. Louis.
Thank you so much. T-Ravs with Tony the Whipping Boy. We'll be back.